Yeah, I'm good. Another good day to be alive. Let's get into this Matrix. This is a topic that me and you been talking about since the movie came out. It's still relevant. Basically, the machines created a cyber world unbeknownst to mankind. People's minds was in a simulation, a computer simulation, yet their bodies was in a desolate world hooked up to machines that harnessed people's energy, pumping fake experiences into their minds. We was in a messed up state, man, in the Matrix. And so many people felt that movie. It resonated with so many people because people felt like, why do we wake up and go to work every day? Why do we have pressure to conform to social norms? It could be considered that when he fought Morpheus every time, that would be the spiritual world, if I had to argue. That's where he went and got his weapons and his wisdom, right?
Hmm.
In essence, humans were disassembled. Their mind, body, and spirit were disassembled. And like I said, it resonated with so many people because we all feel like there's a certain level of mental bondage, of delusion, of deception in daily life that we experience. The Matrix, that's one of my top 3, 5 movies of all time. Get Out, Friday. Why do you think this movie resonated with so many people?
I think it's like you said, correlated with society, and a lot of people could relate to it. You know what
Mm.
I'm saying? I know with me, I related instantly because I was like, yo, hold on. It had me thinking super deep because you know how we were when we were younger already. We was kind
Uh,
of outside minded thinking people, not just in a box. So them bringing out the Matrix gave us kind of really what it really did is gave a different perspective on our reality.
mm,
It made our reality really seem like a simulation because we're constantly going through the same motion of shit like a goddamn robot, like an AI, like something. And in essence, that's what they're kind of doing to us with schooling and all that and stuff is like programming.
exactly, exactly. And even when you ask these different types of questions, is often frowned upon. There are so many institutions in place with the goal to indoctrinate us, to distract us, to place us in mental bondage. We have education, we got religion, we got the legal system, prison, corporations, daily life. Every time you're trying to elevate, tell me. Every time you're trying to elevate, tell me there's 100 things that come your way to set you back, right? It
Yeah,
almost feels like somebody's pushing a button.
yeah.
So right after the movie came out, that's when cell phones became widespread. The Matrix, the original came out in 99. And if you haven't seen The Matrix, watch The Matrix. At least watch the first one and the final one that came out, last year?
Yeah,
If you watch those two, you'll get the gist of the whole series. It's a
yeah.
very,
And you're right. I think if you watch the first one,
hmm,
it's like an introduction into what kind of what's going on, and then the last one is kind of like a just a I wouldn't even say a conclusion. It's more like it wraps everything together. It wraps all the movies together.
right. That's why I say you can definitely get the whole thing from those, the first one and the last one.
Yeah.
And like I say, that came out 99, and right after that, the cell phone came into play. And a cell phone exploded. Everybody had one. And then social media came out a few years after that, and that took over. So on one hand, it was symbolic to what we were going through. Yeah, we weren't hooked up to machines. At least I don't think we could be, but we were hooked to jobs and consumerism that was draining us of our energy. We go to work, and a lot of people don't like their jobs, so it's like it was symbolic, but then cell phones taking over, the internet taking over. So was it literal and predictor of things to come?
Really, the question should be asked: what is this coincidence?
Is it?
Because clearly, the Matrix came out. Then we technology just really technology was kind of booming. But remember, even with special effects, the Matrix was one of the first to introduce that special effects, slow motion,
Hmm.
how Neo was dodging the bullet. We ain't seen nothing like that in movies, bruh. So that's what changed. So I feel like all of that shit played a part in that. That the visuals and stuff. It like I said, it kind of made us rethink our reality. Like, yo, could we really be in a simulation? Like a, and not in the sense of like how the Matrix was, but in a mental cage. Have they put us in a mental cage where we're just locked into our daily schedule?
And more and more every year, because first it was the schedule when the movie came out, and now it's just separated from the other individuals. I always feel like if I really want to see somebody, I gotta FaceTime them either on Instagram, Facebook, or my phone. The cell phone came and it made life more convenient in one way, but at the same thing, it replaced everything: the scanner, dictionary, thesaurus, going to pay your bills in person, house phones, answer machines, alarm clocks, laptops. Should I go on GPS, camcorders,
A
calculators,
lot of stuff that used to be its own individual thing all combined into one.
the news, your bank card, like everything on the cell phone. And we already have people partially living on social media, but we got another billion people that's lined up for the metaverse that's gonna drop real soon.
I mean, it's already dropped.
It's
It's
here,
people
but
living, selling houses. It's real estate. It's businesses on that shit, though. Like people are really living through it already.
right, I know people it didn't already drop, but that was the soft drop, and the hard drop supposed to drop soon, and that's when they expect the masses to get on.
Well, yeah, I guess they said it's supposed to be a little more realistic and stuff and all that. That's
Right.
crazy. But as a person, I guess I don't know. I guess for me, I wouldn't want to live that way. I want to experience reality. Some people want to escape their reality, and that's the best way, I guess, of escaping their reality. And people find ways of doing that with drugs and different stuff like that too. But something like that, I feel like that's worse than drugs. I feel
Right.
like you can get hooked on very quickly, and that'll be damaging to our society. For some people, I can understand because, like, maybe you're a paraplegic, you can't really do anything and all that, and that's a way of you socializing with society. I can respect that, but for the masses itself, it's gonna make people already lazy and dependent and shit on so much shit. It's gonna make it even worse.
I agree. I agree. And it's like this new artificial intelligence is the mental plastic surgery for the non-intellectual and socially inept people. You follow me? You see
Yeah,
how PL is the easy way out? This artificial intelligence seems like the easy way out for the non-intellectual and socially inept. This has always been about separating the spirit. That's all the Matrix is about disconnecting the mind, body, and spirit. And when you think about it, it was kind of cool because machines did it, but the act of separating our mind, body, and spirit can be done by many different entities. Demons can do that, witches can do that, the elites, they already found a way to do that. You get me? So it's not about really the machines, because when you get put in the trance, when you get put in the spell, when you get hypnotized, possessed, what's the common thread? That your mind, body, and or spirit is separated, and the outside force has control over your body and is influencing your mind, thoughts, decisions, and actions. Think
no,
about
no, that's definitely true.
think about that. That's the underlying goal of the machines, to separate your mind, body, and spirit. Because when your mind, body, and spirit is separated, you're rendered defenseless. You're less of a threat. You're
That's
more
true because especially if it's coming from something without a soul. Machines, AIs, they don't have a soul, so that's something that they can't comprehend. There's no component to compute on that shit. You get what I'm
right.
saying?
That's a good ass point. So that is a way that you can hit them from another angle because they can't experience the spirit.
I mean, that's kind of why they're trying to separate that. You feel me? Because they can experience it, and they know if they can separate that from us. it's easy to control. It'll be way more easy. You'll be a logical thinking person, so it'll be easy to control your ass.
And we're gonna dive more into this, but let me get into this point because don't think the person that smoke a blunt and philosophize with you is out of the matrix. Don't think because somebody has a bunch of money and a name for themselves, they out of the matrix. Don't think because you see that somebody reach spiritual tranquility and they caught the Holy Ghost that they out of the matrix. Don't think that because someone gave birth to you that they out of the matrix and they won't lead you astray. Not meaning they're not a good mom and have good intentions, but breaking this matrix, that comes to few. You get me? Most people will always be stuck in the matrix, and the truth is that more and more people are waking up, but we not banding together quick enough. I
Yeah,
think
I think more people are waking up, but what they call it, woke, right?
mm,
But what does woke mean? Ain't that past tense for being awoken? So that mean they falling right back asleep again.
right. And
They are learning some shit, but then they just forgetting about it. It's like it's meaningless after a while to them. If it doesn't benefit them right there and then.
right. And
And this
wait,
then you gotta be consistent on, you feel me?
yeah, because you always can slip back in just like Neo. But the one thing
Yeah.
the one thing we gotta realize is that it ain't nothing to do with age about waking up out of the matrix. How long we been having these conversations, Camus?
Man,
30,
since teenagers, bro.
40
Like
years old? And in fact, I would argue that the older you get, if you haven't broken out, the less likely it is that you would break out because you become set in your ways and start thinking more concrete. But yeah, this has nothing to do with age. Like I say, the older you get, the less likely you are to break out. But most people out here, they're gonna act like they want to change some shit. They're gonna complain, but guess what? They not gonna do shit. They're not gonna support positivity. And moreover, if you start trying to break out, get your own business, like some people, they'll try to sabotage you. That's the trick to the matrix. You get me? Uh,
but like you say, like you like to say, which we ain't even bring up yet, is the agents.
you took that's the next point I was going to. That
Yeah.
they can't at
Bring
least
up a lot, and a lot of people be agents out here. And think of how the agents move. One minute they could be somebody you know, and the next minute they trying to plug your ass back in, boy.
deep down, certain people can never be happy for you, and you moving up, you changing your ways, you gaining success. That's one of the parts of the matrix, and we get into actually breaking the matrix. That's the first thing, accepting harsh realities.
Yeah.
When Neo woke up, what type of world was he in? A desolate one, where most of the people was hooked up to machines. They was always under the threat of being attacked by machines. So it was a porous world, and I feel like when you really wake up, that's the type of world you can expect. You start seeing people for being fake, for not being happy for you. You start seeing that education ain't shit, but leading us to be docile workers. You start seeing that religion ain't shit, but brainwashing and false doctrines. You start seeing that the legal system exploiting minorities and shit like that. You start seeing all these things, and it makes you hard. You get what I'm saying? So it's
Mm-hmm.
honest, you still gotta enjoy life, but when you see shit for what it is, it doesn't feel good.
No, it doesn't at all, man.
And these corporations, they thriving off of consumerism. They don't care how much debt you get in. Entertainment here is here to distract you. It's here to administer propaganda and agendas. It's here to sell you goods that you don't need. I mean, when you think about this, many black men, I know me too at times, we worship booty, right? No, seriously, we worship booty, right? Like that ass, and it's some man way worse than us. No, two slabs of flesh, bro. Two slabs of flesh, booty cheeks. We worshiping two slabs of flesh, booty cheeks. That best day needs to be wiped from spreading a little feces from defecation.
Nigga.
Think about that. I mean, I get it. Aesthetically, it fits well, but that's what most men worshiping. Fucking slabs of flesh that need to be wiped from fucking feces. When you break out of the matrix, you start to see shit for what it is. You get me? And the next thing after realizing the harsh realities, we gotta have who's the new vanguards, who's the new people implementing new thoughts, new actions, new ideas. Who are those people? It's the people our age that got to step up. They got to be willing to make the sacrifice and take a chance.
They are. um, the biggest mistake. I'm gonna tell you now. The biggest mistake they did on now a lot of people are getting out of the matrix is the YouTube.
Mm,
People have an outlet now, and you might not get a lot of people to listen into what you're saying and stuff. But even if you get a handful, you feel me? You
mm,
when you find somebody that relates to you, that shit means something. You get what I'm saying? Like who's on the same wavelength as you? Because you could be in an area where you think, man, you just alone in this shit. Like Neo in the first Matrix, he kind of felt like he was an outcast because of
mm.
how he thought and stuff. And then he met Trinity and all them and stuff. You get people who related to his same wavelength, his
Right.
mindset on on reality, the reality that's been given.
Because new people stepping up the leadership role is new ideas, is new strategies, and the key thing is to implement those new strategies.
Right.
Because why do we still talk about fixing race relations? Where are the people talking about ending race? Period. At least as an idea. None of our leaders. Why are we still teaching kids at first grade, 6, 7 years old about the transatlantic slave trade by itself? We got to teach the
But they
slave
don't teach them about how them people were getting enslaving their own people. You know what I'm
right,
saying?
and teach slavery from a world history so that whites know that they were
Exactly.
slaves. Asians know that they were slaves, and it doesn't just seem like a black thing where we were inferior to other groups. But people
Exactly.
are not doing that. So we got to get comfortable with the real reality. We got to explore it and we got to digest it and take it seriously. Then we got to implement action plans. That's where the new leaders come in place. And lastly, I always bring this up, but in relation to this, I'm gonna bring it up again. We got to connect the mind, body, and spirit because that's what the machines did. That's what demons do. That's what anything do that try to take over humans. They disconnect our mind, body, and or spirit. So we got to eat better. We got to have our mind and body prepared in case there's any famine going on or we need to fight, we need to flee, we need to run. You never know. And the stronger you are, the stronger you are.
You got to be tactical too, man. Learn how to go shoot and do all that. Learn how to grow your own food. Learn how to cook. You can start small, man. You ain't nobody saying you got to be Rambo and shit out here, but start small, man. Learn to do things yourself. Since they have made society very dependent on them, the government, and it's not just our government. Every government, every country is similar.
You're right.
It's ruled by like a dictatorship. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you got to learn how to be dependent on your own and do your own stuff.
Get your fruits, vegetables, water. Take in content with intent. Expand your mind. Learn, think of new things, and learn new info. Come up with your original thoughts. Don't simply regurgitate mainstream ideas because it's generic and propaganda filled. We got to be able to critical think. We got to be able to think outside of the box. We got to connect to a higher power. This is what guides us. This is what gives us intuition, instincts, our insight, foresight, wisdom. You get me? And when we connect all of those things, the mind, body, and spirit, then we something not to be fucked with.
Then you truly have awoken. Once you do all that, you know what I'm saying? I think that's like one of the those are some of the few what they call them mantras or something
Mm,
with Buddha, like those things you specifically just said, and that's the way to enlightenment. You get
mm.
what I'm saying? Opening up your chakras and all that, man. Being aware, and you're gonna be aware of a lot of things coming your way. Feel me? Because sometimes with this shit so blinded, you don't be seeing a lot of shit. You know how much times we say things going good, and next thing you know, boom, tragedy or something crazy happened, man. And yet it was just going so good for you. But man, once you awoken, You see all that shit coming your way. You learn how to kind of avoid and maneuver around that shit before it even catch you.
Hmm.
But
Right,
we all working on that. It's hard in this world we living in now, and it seems like it's just getting worse and worse. They're just diving deeper and deeper into control.
right. And nobody ain't perfect. We said this earlier. At times, Neo slipped back into the Matrix, and you have to fight your way out again. It's all type of shit that the legal system, drugs, trauma, be like it's all type of shit that can distort your thinking. I don't know why we the chosen ones, why we think like this, why we got to go against the grain. It might be mental survival of the fittest at work. It just might be random genetics. I don't know, but the system has been updating since 2020. There's been a reset, and just like when there's a reset on your computer, you have to shut it down for a bit before you upgrade. I just don't feel like we banding together quick enough to take advantage of this chink in the armor.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, like I said earlier, it's people out there, but it's like a lot of them consider themselves woke and then they falling right back asleep. So it's like it really ain't enough. It's like right when you think it's a group of people on the same mindset as you, and you look back a year or two later, they on to something different. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? They ain't
Right.
even worried about that shit no more. Some in some ways it's even became like a trend, which it shouldn't be. It should be like I said earlier, enlightenment.
Right.
Something
It's
to make you see your reality different.
a trend to appear woke. That's crazy. And the final thought is, you think we'll ever break out of the matrix as a whole?
Oh, people?
Yeah.
No, maybe if but it'll take something super detrimental, like some like that shit happening in the Matrix, like AI is truly trying to take over type shit for people, humanity to, because right now we feel like we in control. That's why ain't nothing gonna really be done. You'll get like I said, a handful of people that will be against it, but for the most part, we feel like we in control. So
Yeah.
about it.
Everybody talks shit and don't like the way the system's structured, but when it's time to put in the actual work, there's no movement because
They
at
gone. They disappear. They back to their matrix. They're back to their
right,
regular
and
schedule.
where we at right now, the matrix entails going into school board meetings and doing a little paperwork, contacting the center. It takes all type of stuff that we're not accustomed to, and
Yeah.
band together as a group. But will we ever break the matrix? Appreciate you coming on, bruh.
Now,
Another good one.
hey, like, comment, subscribe, man.
Like, comment, subscribe to Knowledge Trap. Moo, Brother Z, also known as Wise Counsel. Y'all have a good one. Appreciate you, homie.
Peace.